Hello, everyone. I get to talk with Crown One today. We're going to be talking about the Faith Tape listening party. He is a local hip-hop artist, producer, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You're just all over the place. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. All right. First of all, for people that have never heard about you before, tell us a little bit about your music and why you love what you do.
Well, I've been doing music for a while, longer than I can count, longer than some people that are watching your show right now. But I love doing what I do.
How long?
I've been doing it since 1999, technically, but I've been actively pursuing it full time for the last 2 years.
Okay.
So
great.
Yeah, and I love doing what I do because I'm able to inspire people. Much like my faith, I think that the music that I make should be available to all. And it's received by all, even just receiving the last 2 nominations for Gospel Hip Hop Artists of Ohio. So
that was awesome.
It was definitely a blessing being down at the Ohio Gospel Music Awards, and Kingdom Image Awards nominated me as well. So
congratulations on those nominations.
Thank you.
That's an amazing accomplishment, especially after really going for this over the past couple years. And it's nice to have some of that feel like it's coming to fruition a little bit, right?
Yeah, certainly.
So tell me a little bit. Can we back up to 1999? How did you get into music? What made you be inspired by music and want to pursue it?
So I come from a very musical family, as well as athletic. But my focus then was really was sports. And I ran into my father's CD collection.
Okay.
And he had Gospel Gangsters, an old CD from West Coast gospel Christian hip hop rappers.
All right.
And that inspired me to do it here in Ohio. And so I just always wrote every day, and studied and continued to work on music. Eventually learned how to produce. Started my first indie deal at 13 and did my first album, and then I just never stopped.
Wow. And you're a producer now, so you also produce other artists alongside your own music, right?
Yes. I produce music. I actually was just in the studio before coming here today. I write everything from pop records, country, gospel. I don't just write rap songs. I write records for my artists on the label too, so I'm quite busy.
That sounds like you're very busy.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to move into the Faith Tape listening party because we're going to talk about that event. It's coming up. I love how it's kind of come together. I am thankful I get to be a part of this event as well.
Yes.
And so share with us about it and, of course, about your listening party and then all the different aspects that are happening.
So the Faith Tape is a project that came together with Faith Music Records here in Ohio, as well as Faith Clothing up in New York. And the listening party is on November 23rd from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it's great because, number one, it's free. So it's a free event.
Yeah.
Number two, we're providing a Thanksgiving meal for the first 200 attendees. So the tickets are free, and then also we're having a fashion show with professional models that are being curated by yourself.
By me.
So, the famous Sarah White's going to be in the building, so everybody should pull up. It's going to be a great time. Just a Dad from Akron's clothing is going to be showcased, as well as Faith Clothing.
Yep.
And then we'll be breaking down the Faith Tape album live with your husband, Ben White, and Glory in the Beat Radio. So it's literally, not just a local event, but other state companies that are Christian in nature, like myself, supporting one another. And so we have people like Zeal Energy, which is a Christian energy drink, all natural energy drink. They sponsored it.
That's awesome.
Streetlight Community Church will be having it. That's a lot of people coming together. Just support the community,
Yeah, so it's happening at First Glance Youth Center, and that's on Kenmore Boulevard, 943. I have it memorized in my head.
Yeah, sure.
So people can come out for that. Do they need to get tickets in advance? What does that look like?
Yes, so they do need to get tickets in advance if they want to ensure that they'll have a meal, because we want to make sure that we don't over or under prepare.
Right.
So people are getting their tickets now. Like I said, it's free. They just go to kpmusicrecords.com to get those, or they can hit me up on Instagram to get their tickets.
Okay. And this is something that I haven't been a part of too much. I think maybe one time I've been a part of a listening party. So share with people, what is a listening party? What's going to be happening during that time for people that aren't sure or don't know?
Certainly. So at a listening party is literally what it is. It's a party. We're listening to the album. Some people that will be there have already heard the album, already got the album in advance. That day it will be available for free on the regular streaming platforms, but a lot of people across the country and the world have supported it directly by purchasing it, because we're giving back to the American Cancer Center for research.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So that has actually helped us do that good work there, as well as potentially really put on this event.
Yeah,
So at the party, you'll be hearing the album, you'll be hearing certain music that's been produced by myself, other artists that I work with, and really just a community event.
I love it. All right, so a free Thanksgiving meal, a fashion show happening with Faith Clothing and Just a Dad from Akron, local models modeling that streetwear, which is awesome, and then a listening party, and you alongside Ben White, my husband, will be chatting about the album, and that's in conjunction with Glory in the Beat Radio.
Correct.
Yes? Do I have everything?
You do.
All right.
And also, if anybody wants to ask questions about the album, we'll have a Q&A section where they're able to ask me questions about the album, production and stuff like that. So they might have had questions in the midst of this interview, right? So they can come with their questions and ask me questions about faith, about music, production, whatever it is.
I love that. How can people find out more information about this event and about your album, about you?
Certainly. So they can go to kpmusicrecords.com. On the events page, they'll find the direct link where they can get their tickets, all information regarding the event. And the About Us section on the website talks about myself and how they can book me.
Great. I love that. Thank you so much, Crown One, for being on the
you.
show. I love to end these interviews with a little bit of words of wisdom for people. I want you to give your words of wisdom to young musicians, young artists, young rappers who are just starting out. What are you saying to them?
So the first thing I'd say is to work your craft every day.
Okay.
Even if you're not in the midst of a project or you're just finished a project, a rapper or an artist should always be writing a verse every day, even if you don't plan on using it in that moment. Just always use those craft, that muscle memory.
I love that. That's a great idea.
By the time you do get to the studio or the opportunity presents itself, you would have put more hours in than the average person. It's like, I just get into the studio and mess around, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's such good advice. I used to professionally sing, and someone was asking me, like, how come so-and-so lost their notes? And there are different reasons, but the biggest reason is if you don't use that muscle. And you have to use that muscle over and over and over. And if you don't, some of those really high notes you're going to lose, or some of those really low notes because you're not using the muscle. And I think it's the same, it's the same for rapping. If you're not writing all the time, you're not going to get better.
Yeah.
So we have to keep working our crafts all the time. It's important. All right. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. kpmusicrecords.com.
Correct.
Yes, kpmusicrecords.com. Make sure you guys head there. Get those tickets. Again, this is a free Thanksgiving meal for the community alongside this listening party and fashion show. And actually, I want to throw this out there too. The Black Beans are also going to be dancing. So the Black Beans dance troupe, they are coming and they're going to be dancing as well. So lots of really cool stuff happening at this event. Go grab those tickets, kpmusicrecords.com. And you won't want to miss it. The 23rd.
23rd of November.
The 23rd of November, Saturday night, 6 to 9 p.m. Thanks, everyone.